Hello and welcome to Realtor Rentals. I'm Susie Rogers here with my husband David Williams. We're the owners of Northside Video here in McMinnville, Tennessee. Yes, there still is a video store in Middle Tennessee. Glad to see you back this week. Hope everybody's doing well. And I tell you what, I'm excited about all the flowers blooming. I don't know about y'all, but I have an affinity for irises.
Hey, they're all getting right there with us and showing us the beauty of spring. Of course, I'm hearing a lot of different people saying all the projects that they're needing to get started on.
I know, we're two of those people, aren't we?
We're two of them. But, you know, needless to say, everybody's got things going on. I've seen some people carrying kayaks around and things like that. So the Upper Cumberland's a full buzz of flurries and things, and they're fighting bees and wasps and everything else. And
yeah, I've noticed the wasps coming out some. We've got some we need to take care of.
yeah, so you know, if you're allergic to them things, make sure you got your EpiPen with you. Needless to say, though, we've got 4 movies today, a big variety of film.
There are a variety of film today, aren't they?
You know, one of them is a revisit with a new twist, and you know, a docudrama. Great animated, and somebody paying vengeance on people that's getting scammed. So, you know, we can't hold
You know, that scam movie, it opens your eyes on how things might be a little more involved than you ever thought they were.
That's right, and a lot of people would love to see this kind of stuff happen to people. But
especially the scam.
That's right. But needless to say, you know, we want everybody to be safe up here as they're starting to get back out and get into things. That's why we said something about the EpiPens. You know, Benadryls and Zyrtex and all that kind of stuff is definitely in need at this time.
Yeah.
Flonase or...
Yeah, Claritin, need to have that on hand because there'll be the days that you'll need them or nights. Keep that drainage flowing.
All the cars have that nice yellow look on them there. So.
Car wash business, big.
Yeah. But I guess we better tell them about our movies.
I guess let's start with that docudrama
there
that we
you
talked
go.
about. Okay, let's take a look at the trailer for Ferrari.
Two objects cannot occupy the same point in space at the same moment in time. The corner races at you. You have perhaps a crisis of identity. Am I a sportsman? Or a competitor? If you get into one of my cars, you get in the wind. Slow.
Enzo, you're going broke.
How?
You spend more than you make.
So what do I do?
Win the Mille Miglia, Enzo. Or you are out of business.
This is a gun pointed at our head. You should assign me control of your stock. I have to have all the cards in my hand.
Well, half the cards are in my hand.
All of us are racers. It's our deadly passion. Our terrible joy.
No one ever leave me back.
How can I stay away?
If Italy is looking for a scapegoat, then here I am.
You were supposed to save him! You promised me he wouldn't die!
The father deluded himself!
Two objects cannot occupy the same point in space at the same moment in time.
Enzo. Go beat the hell out of them.
That was the trailer for Ferrari, rated R from Neon. This stars Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz in our lead roles. You know, I think Adam Driver has got more handsome as he's got older. He's aged well. I still didn't think he was the prime person for those Star Wars movies, but hey, that's just me.
Well, you know, you'll have to admit that since they're portraying him in this movie as Ferrari when he was later into his life, they aged Adam Driver extremely well for this movie.
They did. They really did.
You know, and of course now Penelope Cruz, it's been a long time since we've seen her in Sahara, but she did a wonderful job in it. Of course, the lady that played his mistress did a good job.
Odd part for her. We don't usually see her playing that type of part.
Exactly. And all of a sudden it showed how, in his personality and characteristics, how just shaving seconds off of speed was what he wanted. The faster and faster, and no telling how many lives was lost in
Testing these cars.
Yeah. And really about how that he'd almost run his company into complete bankruptcy doing that. So, you know, it was a lot different feel. You know, this movie right here, for it being a story-driven documentary, they about hit it out of the ballpark with how well the director and Adam Driver and all the people worked together to make this movie come together.
You know, this was so realistic that, you know, you almost would lose yourself in that time period with these people because they did such a good job in their roles.
Right, and you know, all the people that put together the special effects and right down to the color coordinating of how the suits looked and everything was just top notch. Now, you know, you don't even have to be a car fan to enjoy this movie.
No, because it's a good story development of people's characters and what they were.
Well, and like Ferrari's fight within himself on the loss of a child and things of that nature, there were so many levels of how his life was in this movie.
You know, and we've seen his life touched on in the movie Ford versus Ferrari. You know, we got to glimpse a little bit of Ferrari's life in that one also.
Right.
But this takes it to the next level.
Right, would be two good movies maybe watch together.
Sure would.
So, but I think that they need to give it a try.
I do.
Everybody can't drive a Ferrari.
No, but, you know, maybe they'll let us test drive one.
There you go.
Well, that was Ferrari. This one now is the one that Dave talked about, a redoing of a story we already know. So let's take a look at the trailer for The Color Purple.
Today, our teacher taught us about a place called Africa. She say our mamas come from Queens over there. That means that we, royalty.
I don't need you to love me.
Afternoon. I needs me a wife.
Even if we have to part, you and me, us have one heart.
I don't need
Get off my land!
you.
I rat you every day.
To love.
Nothing but death can keep me from it.
Oh, Miss Celie.
You must ain't got no kinfolk around these parts.
All I had was my sister. She was the only one ever loved me. I'm gonna hold my head up. I'm gonna put my shoulders back.
It's time for you to see the world.
There's gonna be some changes made.
Put it on. This ain't me.
Hush. We need to look like we belong. Let's see the smile and color.
Sweet and loving God.
Showing my heart to the folks that I'm close to.
Now we're talking.
Seeley, we are more than just kings and queens. We are at the center of the universe.
That was the trailer for The Color Purple, rated PG-13 from Warner Brothers. This stars Taraji P. Henson and Danielle Brooks as two of our lead roles. There's a lot of people in this movie that we couldn't go into, but this is a musical retelling of The Color Purple.
You know, probably them doing it as a musical would be the only way that I could ever see redoing this.
Yeah, the first one was just so impacting.
Yes, and you know, of course, Oprah Winfrey was one of the producers and wanted to see this brought back to life, and you know, but it touches on so much of society that ran through the era, because this takes place over what, about a 40-year span, and how hard life was and how many things gets changed and hidden and things. But you know, the musical part of it, it's definitely a dominant force in the film, but the storyline stays consistent with the connection of the sisters, even though, you know, that they needed to stay connected to have stability in their lives.
Well, this started on Broadway. You know, this was they took this as a Broadway musical and then adapted it into a movie, just like they've done several other films in the past that were films to begin with, and then they were a Broadway musical, like Mamma Mia, for one, started as a Broadway musical.
And brought it in to become a major motion picture. You know, of course, you know, we've lost Lou Gossett Jr. in the last few weeks. You know, from seeing him in Officer and a Gentleman to Iron Eagle to, well, he was even in Roots as a character, I'm sure.
I think so.
You know,
he's just has been a staple in our lives through television and film for a lot of years.
He sure has. So, you know, but take a look at The Color Purple, the change up. And
you know, you may want to rent the original and then watch this one. There again, back to back, just like the Ferrari movie.
Right.
If you've never seen the original Color Purple, it's sort of one of those ones everybody needs to watch, I think, at some point in their life. We're going to tone it down a little bit, and this is, I don't know how many films, animated films this is for Disney, but let's take a look at the trailer for Wish.
3, 2, 1.
Asha!
I'm here. Whew, just 1 second. Let me catch my breath.
Once upon a time stood Rosas, a most magical kingdom, founded by a king with the power to grant wishes.
You are their handsomest, most beloved king.
You're right. I am a handsome king.
I'm so nervous, I think I'm going to explode.
My best friend, the king's apprentice.
My mouth drooping? I feel like it's drooping.
Asha, come with me. The wishes of Rosas.
Whoa.
People give their wishes to me, and I grant the wishes I am sure are good for Rosas.
Some of these will never be granted.
Not some, most.
They deserve more than...
I decide.
What everyone deserves.
So I look up at the stars to guide me.
I wish.
And throw caution to every warning sign.
Oh, you spoil us with your magic.
I didn't do it.
What?
Last night, I made a wish on a star. And the star answered.
I'm talking. I am talking. Ha! Who knew my voice would be this low?
I believe I have just been threatened.
Who would dare threaten you? I have no response to that.
So I look up at
There is a traitor amongst us. Find Asha.
caution to every
It's a dead end.
With unsanded mahogany.
Oh, good find, Valentino.
My butt found it.
warning.
I started this. I have to finish it.
So I make this wish.
What are you hiding?
Oh, nothing. And nobody.
What is going on in there?
Okay, ladies! Your wings can't fly, but your voices can!
That was a trailer for Wish, rated PG from Walt Disney. This stars Ariana DeBois and Chris Pine voicing our lead roles. And I don't know, this was a diverse little movie. We really enjoyed it. And, well, I'm going to let Dave tell you about it.
Well, you know, this movie here starts out as it does in the tells you in the previews. You know, the Chris Pine character, due to tragedies happening, oh, he's wanting to develop this kingdom of safety and everybody's welcome and stuff. Sounds a lot like America when we first got started.
It does, don't it?
You know, everybody's welcome, come, you're safe. But then all of a sudden, these wishes, you know, hey, if you give them to me, we're going to grant them and help them. And, you know, people should have started figuring out a little sooner that he only grants about one a month. And heck, if there's this many people, then somehow I'm getting left out. Mm-hmm. But until it takes our lead character to bring this to the light of people, that all of a sudden, everything don't work exactly like it's supposed to.
No, it's not all protecting us, you know. And once you give him your wish, you don't remember it. It's sort of like he takes your memory of that wish away from you. And that's hit on in another movie. It's just now hit me, but I can't think of what it is where you sort of forget.
You know, but I thought that they did a very good job with it. Mm-hmm. You know, of course, once she makes her wish upon a star, which, you know, has been the little child song for who knows how long.
Oh, and Disney's used it forever.
Mm-hmm.
That little, when you wish on a star.
Yeah. So when the little star gets there and everything starts changing, the animals change, the trees change, the people change, and then he changes. Mm-hmm. And goes into the darkness to protect what he has built.
Right. Sort of like Darth Vader.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, a little different outlook, but the conclusion is definitely worth the wait.
Right.
And I thought that Disney, this is really, I think, makes more really for an older audience than really young.
I think it would confuse a younger audience.
Mm-hmm. Unless they're just watching it for the singing and the dancing.
And the pretty colors.
Yeah. Not really thinking a whole lot, because when we finished, Susie said, okay, what political statement did that movie make? But it had an interesting little thing through the credits.
It did. I enjoyed it.
You know.
Watch the credits.
Watch the credits.
Well, tell them.
Well, through the credits, it highlights all the animated movies that Disney has done. See if you can name them.
That's right. You'll see a character out of every animated movie they've ever done, and we didn't get them all.
Because some of them you had to
and it went
really
fast.
think about. Yeah, so you may need to keep your little notepad there.
Now, they didn't include live action movies like Pirates of the Caribbean or anything like that. This was all animated characters.
Right.
So get your Disney thinking cap on and watch the trailers and see how many you can name off as the little gold characters on the side come through. Because this is Disney's 100th year in business.
Yep. So now the next one.
The next one. This is one that we have had people ask for since the trailer first hit the internet. And this is a powerful movie, and it's got a far-reaching, I think, storyline to it. Can't remember who the screenplay writers were, but they hit it dead on. Let's take a look at the trailer for Beekeeper.
You're a blessing, Mr. Clay. This place was crabgrass and weeds, and you brought it back to life.
Mrs. Parker and I were friends. She was the only person who ever took care of me.
I just got a message saying that there's a problem with my computer.
Yes, ma'am, we got this.
Yesterday, she shot herself.
This is private property.
Do you know what they do here? Scamming the weakest in our society.
Buddy, I'm counting to 3.
1, 2, 3. There, I did it for you. I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
You're telling me one man did this. The only thing you know is he's a beekeeper.
A beekeeper? Well, that's not good.
Beekeepers is a special program outside the chain of command.
I protect the hive. When the system is out of balance, I correct it.
We have laws for these things.
Until they fail, then you have me.
My fingers, he cut them off.
Don't move. This is much bigger than a little phishing scam.
The money's going all over the world. To people in finance, even government.
You are a problem. Right, I'm a problem. I figured I'd give the firefighters a break.
Somebody detain this guy.
We have to kill him before he kills his way to the top.
Honey?
It's flammable. Oh no.
That was a trailer for Beekeeper, rated R, from MGM. This stars Jason Statham and Emmy Rover Lapman. That's a mouthful. But this takes computer scamming of elderly people and anybody to, I think, a new height. Opened my eyes about it.
You know, and unfortunately, my other job, I get to hear about how many people are scammed weekly, and it's just terrible. And so if you ever get somebody that calls you up and says, go put money on a green dot card and give me the number, you have just been scammed and you will never see that money again. I've seen, or I've not seen it, but I have heard different people's stories into the thousands of dollars. This movie right here shows the revenge of that. And all of a sudden, it shows how we also have organizations that work outside of the government to help protect different things. And then all of a sudden governments decide that they don't need to be letting these people protect different things.
Well, they work outside the government, but they're sanctioned at the same time by the government. So it's a catch-22 situation there.
Right, but as Jason Statham, and you've seen in the previews, the action level on this is very good, but a very deep story.
It's almost as good as a John Wick movie, ain't it?
Hey, it's close. I think it's the same people that did Wick.
Same producers.
Producers and maybe even some of the writers. So they put him into this level.
Well, what surprised me in this movie was, you know, I think of scammers as sitting in these little dark, dank offices, and it being 4 or 5, maybe 10 people like you and me, and they take the money and run. Well, this shows you that it could even go higher and even touch onto our own government's acceptance of it in a way that really opened my eyes. That was an eye-opener for me, the level that some of this scamming may or may not take. And this could have just been television, film. But usually there's a thread of truth in these films.
A lot more than what we want to think. But needless to say, watch out for scams, enjoy The Beekeeper, and on how the revenge of people that get scammed can be enjoyed.
That's right. So we hope you enjoyed our show for today, and we hope to see you back next week on Reels to Rentals.